2 years ago, Red sued Nikon. Today, they got bought out by them. So what does this actually mean? In a move absolutely no one saw coming, most of us woke up this morning and had to double check the date to make sure this wasn't an April Fool's joke. But Red just got acquired by Nikon, and probably the biggest news in the filmmaking world in years, because really, Red filmmakers just became Nikon filmmakers. And those jokes just really write themselves. But I haven't seen a reaction that hasn't been on either side of the two extremes. This is either the best thing that could happen or a major disappointment. So why is that? Let me start off by saying these are two of the most controversial camera brands in the world, as Red has been accused of destroying the camera industry as they've filed multiple lawsuits against other companies for infringing on their patent to use raw video in their cameras, including Nikon. As recently as last year, Red ended up dropping their lawsuit, and some thought that they didn't want to pursue it because it could possibly weaken the patent that they hold. So Red's patent is for compression on a camera of raw video. You can't compress 4K or higher raw on a camera without Red's blessing, and if you try, they'll sue you. They've done it to multiple brands now, DJI and others. And on the other side, Nikon has been the longest running joke in the video and really the camera industry in general for their lack of innovation and their lackluster video performance, which really put them at the bottom end of the main brands. But if you've been paying attention for the last year and a half, you've noticed that Nikon has quietly been making major improvements to their video line and has started to make themselves a contender in the space once again. Now, I don't know anyone that personally shoots on Nikon in the professional video space, maybe just besides photography, but when it comes to content creation and content creators in general, they've been really upping their game with the introduction of internal raw video on the Nikon Z9 and others, which, as I mentioned, turned into a lawsuit with Red that lasted close to a year. So at first glance, yeah, this is going to be good for Nikon, and we'll see a huge increase in quality on their side. And I'm excited to see what they do in the long term. But once again, you have this smaller American camera brand being bought out by a larger corporation, which, I hope doesn't continue to have a trickle down effect into other brands continuing to get larger and larger, because as we've seen, competition is the best thing for our industry. Once a smaller camera company makes a move that shakes things up, these larger companies have to up their game as well. And this results in better specs, more choices for us, the consumer, and it really ends up benefiting everybody. Panasonic and Nikon have long been the underrated video brands that push specs and cause Canon and Sony to release updates that they may not have given us before. I've been using Canon and Panasonic for years, and Panasonic has always done a great job of innovating. So really, every manufacturer right now produces extremely high quality cameras that you can get great results with. So will Red continue to operate as its own company, or will they be released as Nikon cinema cameras? Will they change to Z-mount? I don't think so. I think they may add it later on down the line, because realistically, I don't even know if they have cinema camera lenses. Will Nikon cameras get the Red codec now, like I've been seeing people asking? I think there's no way that this happens, and honestly would be a terrible business move on their part. Now that the compressed raw video patent is owned by an even larger company, will they make it even harder for other camera brands to innovate? I hope not. It'll be interesting to see, because not long ago, Red made their cameras RF mount, which is of course Canon's new line of lenses, that up until within the past few months, they didn't even allow third-party manufacturers to create RF lenses. So all that being said, I think Nikon just put the entire filmmaking business on notice. They're here, and things are about to be very, very different. So what do you think? Is this a good thing? Are you upset? Let me know your comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick update. Remember to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. My name's Devin. I've been shooting professionally for about 10 years, and I want to share what I've learned to help you guys in your creative journey. We'll see you guys in the next one.